That's a nice picture you have here.
Oh, it's from this great movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Sisu. It's coming out soon. You should check it out. It's really
Tell me something more about it.
Well, it's about this guy. He finds some gold, and Nazis find him, and then just violence and awesome stuff happens afterwards. In fact, this is
Good.
I remember when the trailers for Inglourious Bastards came out, and as great as Inglourious Bastards was, this was the movie I was kind of hoping for with Inglourious Bastards. And then you came and delivered what Quentin Tarantino did not. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But anyway, I'm here with Jalmari Helander, and writer and director of Sisu. And I think a lot of our listeners would know you best from Rare Exports, which is another amazing movie. What's the writing process like when writing these? Because you get like a bunch of really cool set pieces in there. Do you like come up with those as you're going, or do you have ideas of set pieces that you want to put into the story ahead of time, or how does that usually go?
Well, with Sisu, it was pretty straightforward. Like I had the idea of the guy finding a lot of gold and leaving from his camp to trying to go to city. And it was really like step by step from there. And I tried to top myself with all the action scenes which are happening later on. But it was all written in like, what's the word? Chronologically, basically. So everything had the time and place in the timeline to, like, I didn't have anything prepared for later on or stuff like that. I wrote it in 2 months, and it was pretty straightforward.
And also you have Yorma, the main character, and I believe it's his son Oni. Is that correct? And they've been in pretty much all your movies. What's it kind of like working with the same people over and over again? I talked to a lot of people, and they seem to get like a quick kinship, and makes things a lot funner and easier to go into going movie to movie.
Yeah, of course you build, like, you don't have to start from the beginning because you have that history together, and you have the trust and respect, and so of course it makes it a lot easier, and especially with this one, because it's a really tough role to make, being Artami in this film, because you don't have any lines, and you have to deliver all kinds of emotions and ideas just with your face and eyes and your body. So you definitely need, we needed that kind of like relationship which has been building throughout the years to pull this off.
I also read that that this wasn't originally supposed to be your next movie. You're supposed to do something called Jerry and Miss Universe, but COVID put the brakes on that. So you wrote that. Why were you able to make this movie and not Jerry and Miss Universe?
Well, basically, I had to invent something that we can shoot in Finland because traveling was basically impossible back then. And of course, we didn't know how long this is gonna last. So that's why I wrote a story which happens in Finland that we can basically do outside and in a safer environment in a way. But I don't know, we might even start shooting Jerry and Mrs. Universe this year. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but there's a good chance to it now.
Is there like, without the restrictions of COVID, do you think Sisu may have been a different movie than what we saw, like had you not had those parameters set while you were writing this?
Well, Sisu wouldn't have happened if the pandemic wasn't being like there, because that was I needed that kind of like anger and darkness and like being like almost in prison in my home to to be able to pull this off.
Any other kind of compromises, I guess, maybe had to make with this movie, or just any movie in general? Well, no, it'd be any other compromise for this movie due to the COVID thing. Like, oh, I would have really liked to do that, but we couldn't do A, B, or C because of X, Y, and Z.
Because of the COVID, there was no problems with while we were shooting it. We basically didn't have that kind of problems at all. So, but like making a movie, it's always of making compromises in a way.
I guess we talk about the CGI versus practical effects in your movie, because I can't tell the difference a lot of the times because they're usually really good. In spite of your budget, usually like you get larger budget movies, there's seams all over the effects, but you don't have much of that. And I'm sure your budget's like way lower than most of those. How are you able to approach effects in your movies and make them look so damn good?
Well, thank you for saying that, but I think it's because I've always also been hands-on myself, like trying to, when I was still like 18 years old, when we did some action and some bloody, gory, violent films, because I've been always thinking about that. Like it was part of my job in a way. So I grew up with all kinds of effects. So I guess it's because I know where to use it and how to use it, so that it will be the best solution for each problem. But of course, I really had like a really good team of making really good practical effects and really good VFX stuff too. And the combination, I think it works pretty well.
Is any of that discovery from your younger times is making movies? Does any of that energy or discovery come back to you, or a pull from that of your younger age when making movies nowadays?
Well, Sisu is a really good example of the kind of movie making I was doing basically with no money when I was younger. And we had everything for free, and people just wanted to be a part of something. Of course, now we had money to do it, but the energy was there, right? And a lot of the same people also, which worked with me since I was something like 20 years old.
And also, like your movies are so like strange and fun, and I was talking with Quentin Dupieux, who did Rubber and Mandibles, so on and so forth, and I was asking him like how he's always able to make these movies which are wholly his own, which yours are as well. And I'll just ask you the same thing: how are you able to make these original movies, kind of get budgets from? Because normally, at least here in America, original movies like this, not so many of them. You know, it's all about the IP. And you get to make these wholly original movies. Like who funds these, and how do you get people sold on that?
Well, of course, it's happened step by step of first doing it like for free and to prove that you can do it, and then start to do like with rare exports, which was like $2 million budget, and then go forward with the big game and I was lucky enough to be in that position with my career at this point with Sisu, that we actually could like have Sony to pay a huge part of the budget and still maintain the like original way to do it, so that it's not like interfered with anyone else.
Obviously, the Sisu and rare exports, I haven't got to see big game yet, but you have a lot of like TV shows and shorts in your filmography. What are some some of the shorts that you did that we might be able to find that you're particularly proud of or would like to point to?
Well, I think the short films of rare exports, which like I did before that, the feature film, that's probably the best short films I've done.
And also, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's two like Rare Exports 1 and Rare Exports 2. You can find it from the YouTube, I think.
Cool. And I guess last question is we have a What's in the Box segment. My co-host Bruce has a box, and we have people put movies in there that he'll pull from, and we'll watch some movies. Usually like lesser seen movies that you really like, or a movie that's really special to you that you don't think enough people have seen. What's the movie you'd like to put in the box?
That's a tough one. I don't know why Open Range is coming to my head, but a lot of people are also, of course, seen it, but I don't know. I'm saying Open Range with Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely put Open Range in there. Jalmari, thank you for joining me. And I hope Sisu does very well. In fact, at least among my friends, it's getting a lot of buzz. Show them the trailer and they're like, that looks awesome. I can't wait to see it. So congratulations on making an awesome movie. And I hope it does very well.
Me too. Thanks.